Hi all, a warm welcome to you. As I have told in the WhatsApp group, I will be discussing with you about your exam feedback form. This is a very important video you all should watch because this not only helps you for the next coming free mock exam that we are conducting, but also for your main MNC exam. Okay. Now you are seeing here that we have received only 116 responses. Okay, but in the group if you see there are more than 200 members. So I assume that most of you have attempted the exam. So why the remaining people are not able to complete the exam? I will get the response only when you hit the submit button, which is at the end of this Google form. That means after completing your logical reasoning section, once you submit the button only, here responses will be recorded. That means majority of you are not able to complete the exam. Why majority of you are not able to complete the exam? That is the first question that you should ask yourself. Okay, it is because you may be trying too hard to get an answer for the question that is being asked, or you are being in the same loop, being in the same loop because you have practiced that question well, but at the time of the examination you forgot something or you are not able to get the answer. And third is you are rereading the question many times because you are not able to understand the question. These three are the most important parameters which will kill the time in your examination. So these three parameters you should keep in your mind before attempting any exam. Okay. Now let us start with English or verbal. Now I am showing you frequently missed questions. Missed questions means not missed questions. Questions with less than 50% correct response rate. That means out of 116 questions responses I have received, only 55 of them have written this right. Only 55. Second question only 50, and this antonym only 20 have written right out of 116, and this only 41 likewise. What happened to the remaining here? What happened to the remaining here? What happened to the remaining? What happened to the remaining? They all are incorrect or wrong responses. Okay, when we take these things into consideration, I will be giving you two various types of suggestions, one on a holistic basis, on a generic basis, two in a specific way. Let us discuss about the holistic or the generic basic feedback that I am giving you as an expert trainer or as a person who has interviewed many number of students, freshers like you. Okay, if I see these marks in any sort of the company that I am employed, what I will easily guess, what I will easily analyze is that out of these questions in English, okay, where you guys have got less than 50%, almost all the questions that I have asked in passages are coming. Here see, out of 116 only 39% have done it right, and second one only 20% have done it right, next only 24, next only 35, leave that blank. This passage stratosphere only 38. That means what is this indicating to us? Only 33 means majority of you are not reading the passages. Point number one, you are simply attempting by reading the question and trying to fix up a choice wherein you have not been successful. I will be telling to my students when I was training that these reading comprehension passages that you will be encountering in these exams are not your normal reading comprehension passages you have encountered in your intermediate or 10th class or 9th class. Okay, we will see about this when we specifically speak with respect to verbal. Okay, that is in the specific section. But on a generic rule, if I am seeing the holistic picture, what I am trying to put it across is majority of you are not reading the reading comprehension passages and not attempting the questions. You are first reading the question and trying to search where exactly that comes in the passage and trying to fix up an answer. That is a erratic strategy, a wrong strategy, wherein you will not be awarded marks. The second thing is that if you are not able to understand the sentences or a sentence, you are rereading it, which is again an erroneous strategy. Once you read a reading comprehension passage, you should be able to understand it, because it is not a vocabulary based comprehension passages that you will be getting in these exams. Okay, it's not like Shakespeare literature language. No. For example, let us see that something I will be reading the stratosphere. Specifically, the lower stratosphere has, it seems, being drying out. This can't you not understand? Water vapor is a greenhouse gas, and the cooling effect on the Earth's climate due to this desiccation may account for a far bit of the slowdown in the rise of global temperature seen over the past 10 years. See, the normal English only will be presented. Okay. So, if you are rereading it, what happens is it will kill your time. Okay. Now, in the examination, you cannot practice or you cannot learn. You should have learnt it long before. Okay. That means majority of you have not been received proper attention or training on reading comprehension passages. Okay. So, what is my first suggestion to you is, I have told you about the time. Okay. What kills the time? That is the first suggestion. Second suggestion is, try to tighten up your screws, especially on the reading comprehension part, majority of you. Okay. And most important observation that I am seeing here is, okay, let us look the first question that majority of you have did wrong. What is the question here? That less than 50% of you have made it correct, or more than 50% of you have done it wrong, is, I did things differently dash the new year. That means this is just a preposition based fill in the blank. This preposition based fill in the blank, if majority of you are not able to answer, that means you are easily being attacked by your competitors. Why? Because this is an easy question. When you are writing or when you are opting an easy question with a wrong choice, you are digging your own grave. That means you yourself are saying that I am not in the competition. The thumb rule of these online exams is that you should never ever do easy questions wrong. This is a very very easy question, and more than 50% of you have done it wrong. Now, what does this indicate? So, this indicates that you are giving a free pass to your friends or to your competitors, whoever is writing that particular Wipro exam, and you are making them more and more positive by being less positive through yourself. That means negativity is more for you and positivity is more for them. So, thumb rule, what I will be saying to the students is, you should never ever do wrong in the easy questions. This is an easy question. She hates being late. She is always dash time. This is again an easy question. Only 50 of them have written the right response. What happened to the remaining 66? 66 have done it wrong. 66 have done it wrong. Can you imagine? For this very simple blank. I don't know the reason why, but majority of you are not getting marks for easy questions. Okay, so you should be thinking over it. Okay, now when it comes to English, my suggestion is, all of you tighten your screws for reading comprehension passage. This is my overall view. You may be looking at your own marks. I am not saying that don't look at your own marks. Yes, that is very very important. But on a generalistic base, if I am the employer and if I am employing you, what is my analytics say? What is my analysis say about the whole exam? That is it. Okay. So, majority of you are lacking the logic in reading comprehension. Majority of you are lacking the logic to attempt easy questions. Majority of you are not able to maintain time. Okay. Then now when it comes to mathematics, let us see when it comes to mathematics. When it comes to mathematics, I found a very very interesting pattern here. Okay, all the questions in mathematics that you have attempted and majority of you have gone wrong, I can divide it into three major sections. One is the numbers, second one is profit and loss, third one is permutations and combinations. These three along with probability, okay, you can take. So, numbers, permutations and combinations and probability, and profit and loss. These three are the areas where majority of you have done wrong. Majority of you. So in maths, if you want to concentrate, majority of you should concentrate on these topics. Okay, and also look into your own response sheet, what you have got, and also tighten up the screws where and all you need a little bit of tightening. But I feel majority of you have done wrong in these three areas, so tighten up that. Okay, when it comes to reasoning, it is good that majority of you have done right, but direction problem majority of you have done wrong. Okay, and this simple number series majority of you have done wrong. Okay, and seating arrangements, blood relations, majority of you have done wrong. So what I am proposing is that concentrate on seating arrangement, blood relations, and number series and word series. Very, very important. Seating arrangement, blood relations, number series, and word series. My dear friends, this is my generalistic view. Okay, now let us come to the specific things that you should understand. Okay, so now let us go to this analysis, specific analysis. Okay, now as I was telling you, I did things differently dash the new year. Okay, only 47.4% have done it right only. Okay, and 25% have put option on, which is the next option, best option that you people have chose, which is wrong. Okay, now this tells to me, now if I am a student, if I were you, what I will be looking, I will be looking into my own self marks that I have got, and immediately I will observe that I am confusing between the logic when to use on and when to use in when this question is asked. Now look at the next question. See, this is the pattern. Every exam will follow a pattern. Now look at the second question. My dog used to be scared dash night. 99% of you have put at. That means you are not being confused. You are pretty much sure that this is the answer. Now I will tell you one more important or interesting analogy. Analogy means comparison. See here, she hates being late, she is always dash time. On is the right answer, but majority of you have put in. See how many? 44.8% have put in, which is wrong. Now the first question, there is a confusion between on and in. This question, there is a confusion between on and in. That means if I were a student and if I am analyzing my marks and if I did both these wrong, that means my logic of understanding when to use on and when to use in is not correct. I need to improve it. So basically, whenever you are confronted with any two set of confusing prepositions, you are being confused. So that is the suggestion. So you dwell more on these confusing pairs of preposition, thereby you can improve your marks in those areas. Okay, and the second thing is about synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms and antonyms no one can teach you. It is only learnt through reading newspapers, through reading novels, through conversation with people, through communication, through writing and all those things. The next thing that I wanted to let you know is about this particular blanks. Okay, in Asian countries, stiff tariffs and other import barriers plus undervalued currency, only 35% have put the right answer. Then goes to 29.3% have put make imported goods very expensive. This imported goods would have been the right answer. See, there are import barriers and there are also stiff tariffs. Tariff, if you are able to understand the meaning of tariff, I think this particular question you would have solved. Okay, import barriers means, what is a barrier? It's a hurdle. Import barriers means I am not able to import goods from other nation. Import means getting the goods from the other nation. Export means from our nation we will be giving to other nations. Import means from other nations we will be getting it into our own nation. So when there are stiff tariffs and other import barriers, how can the goods be very expensive? This is an assumption. Okay, whenever there are stiff tariffs and other import barriers, it is not directly proportional to making imported goods very expensive. It is only saying you that it is very difficult for you to export. So the first blank that I have given is just an assumption blank, and majority of you have put that particular blank. Okay. Now there is a clue in that plus undervalued currencies. So there is a very high constraint of importing the goods, and there is very less value addition of exporting the goods because of undervalued currencies, because we cannot export the goods. At the same time, these taxes and these import barriers are making us not to import the goods. Therefore, what is happening? It is giving rise to some inequalities. What inequalities? We are talking here about price inequalities. So that is your answer. So wherever these price inequalities is there, that is your answer. Give rise to sharp economic inequalities. That is how you should analyze these questions. These questions, mind you, my dear friends, will be coming up to you in Wipro, and whoever has done this right, believe me, you will be getting A grades in English, provided you are good at reading comprehension. That is one important thing. Okay. Now the next specific case that I would like to take you is this is error correction. This error correction, majority have put C, 48% have put C as the right answer. Okay, and 25.9 have put B as the right answer, and 21.6% have put D as the right answer. For the people who put D as the right answer, they are not able to gauge this properly because the subject verb agreement is lacking here. Okay, C is right because it is true that God helps those who helps themselves. This who here is a sort of a pronoun that is referring to one more pronoun, those. Now those is plural. If those is plural, in a subject verb agreement, if the subject is those, then it should be followed by a plural verb. Plural verb will never have s. So here helps has s. So help is right. So there is an error in C. Therefore C is wrong. C is the error. Okay. So why you have put B as the answer? Okay, that I don't know. Why you have put D as the answer, I have told you. Because you are not able to identify any mistake here. So that means your subject verb agreement capabilities also you need to recheck. There are many principles in subject verb agreement which I will be teaching to students when students come to my physical training. Now online trainings, we are giving a lot of online trainings nowadays for majority of the students, even from other states also. I will be teaching them very specifically how to analyze this, and less than 30 seconds they will be able to give you the answer. Less than 20 seconds itself. It's a very easy question, but these are the questions that they will be asking you in your exams. Okay. Now these are all the these things. Okay. Now this is a very funny part I wanted to show you. The question I am asking is, what is the order of layers in the atmosphere starting from the lowermost and going to the topmost? Okay, when you see these type of questions, which is directly that is there in the passage, even though you have not read the passage, okay, my fundamental thumb rule for all of you is you should read the passage once. Once you read the passage, you will be able to understand the question and go to that paragraph where it actually is there and then spend some time. Okay, you have read the passage once. Assume that you have read the passage once. Okay, and I will show you where exactly this particular thing comes. Okay, now it's starting of the paragraph itself. This passage says the stratosphere, specifically the royal stratosphere, seems to be drying so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so. I am looking for the layers. There are somewhat surprising conclusions of a favorite there and so, so and so. Whenever there is the stratosphere here, the stratosphere sits on the top of troposphere. That means stratosphere sits on the top means what? Troposphere will come at the lower end, and on the top stratosphere will be there. Then the next sentence itself, the boundary between the two, the troposphere, the boundary is tropopause. What is the boundary? In between. That means in between troposphere and stratosphere there is tropopause. So if I am saying from the lowermost, it is troposphere, tropopause and stratosphere. Check the options. Troposphere, tropopause, stratosphere. That is your answer. Troposphere, tropopause, stratosphere. No. Troposphere, tropopause, stratosphere. Yes. Again recheck the other options also. Troposphere, tropopause, mesosphere. No. Troposphere, no. Then B is the answer. That's it. How much time I have taken? So it is absolutely essential for you to read the passage once, even though you understand, even though you don't understand, read it once, so that at least one question you can attempt correctly. Okay, so these are some of the specific understandings. If I were you as a student, I told what I need to follow, and as a holistic approach, I have told you what you need to follow. Okay, so I think this is a comprehensive feedback that I have given you. I have taken verbal as an example because majority of you have done well in maths and reasoning, but you have not done well in verbal. That is the reason why I have chosen verbal. Okay, for you to understand, let you understand. Don't scare by just looking at the passage that this is this much big. You will be encountering these passages in the near time. You cannot escape in the exam. Okay, have the patience of reading the passage. It is a very easy passage. It only looks big, but it is easy. So if you have done this exercise, you would have at least got one right. So that is the fundamental principle. So avoid these mistakes in the next coming exam. Don't spend too much of time on one exam. Don't be stuck with one question. Don't be passionate about one question. If it is not coming, leave it, go to the next question. Understood? So this is a comprehensive video that I have made, so it has taken some time. So I think you should see this till the end. That is my humble request. So try to do well and be ready for the webinar that we are planning for essay writing, especially in Wipro. Okay, I'll see you soon, guys. Thank you.